Hi, welcome back to Velo News TV. Here we are at the Vecchio's Performance Center with John Tarkington. This is sort of your office upstairs. The shop's down below. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, this is a relatively new setup here. It's my first time, although I've been to Vecchio's for years and years. Had my bike worked on down there. Can you kind of walk me through what I'm looking at here? Because there's quite a bit, and it's a little bit unfamiliar territory for me.
Well, what it is the shop itself realized that they had a little bit of a gap at the top end of their service. They're a service-oriented shop, so they realized they were lacking some high-end services. I realized I could kind of help them fill a void there, and so we decided to embark on this path, and this is what we've come up with. It's we do power meter sales, which is a bulk of what we do. That's kind of instigated this whole thing. The guys didn't know anything about it, like a lot of bike shop employees, and it's something I'm fairly knowledgeable with. So we started with that, and we decided to add more services on top of that to make it into a real, kind of intermediate performance center. Not quite Boulder Center for Sports Medicine, but definitely a step up from your average bike shop.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of a growing trend in the sort of the bicycle retail world these days as performance centers. Specifically, if I'm looking for a bike, maybe I own a bike, I bring my bike into Vecchio's and get it worked on, and I'm looking to improve as a cyclist, what specific services do you offer? And what can you give me maybe a little bit of a price range, and what can I expect?
Well, we do some basic blood lactate testing, and that's $75, and that just helps you kind of establish your training zones to use with your power meter. And we also do a performance bike fit, which is a step up from the $125 intro bike fit that Vecchio's does. You've got to have that done before we'll look at you over here, and we just basically take that a step further and really fine-tune your position to get the most power out of that position. We also offer e-soles, which is a custom footbed, and we can do those for cycling or any number of activities. We also offer basic power meter education. That's probably the biggest component of power meter sales that I think is missing in most of the shops across the country, is actually teaching the customer how to use a power meter effectively.
For people who are watching that maybe aren't familiar with the name John Tarkington, you're a man that wears many hats. I know you're a longtime member of the Vitamin Cottage team that was second in the team classification at Redlands. I think that was 2005, was that right? With Andy Bajadali, guys like Chuck Coyle on the team. You yourself have posted up some pretty impressive results, not just here locally, but what are some rides that people that are watching may sort of raise an eyebrow, some of your own personal results over the years?
Ooh, that's a toughie. I've won a few local races in the past couple of years, had a couple of good rides at local races. As far as big results, I guess I've never really hit big results. I've always tried to be in the mix at the end with a lot of the big time guys around here, and then at the bigger races I've gone to, I've always tried to make those final selections. Done it a couple of times, but it doesn't necessarily turn heads the way a big ride would.
Sure, but come on, you're being a little bit modest. There's got to be one ride that stands out.
I had a good win last year at the Cat Eye Road Race, which is coming up on Saturday, so it'd be nice to repeat that, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then I know you also do a little bit of time with the American Cycling Association. You're the vice president, correct? Can you tell me a little bit about what that entails and how much of your time is dedicated to that?
Correct. I sit on the board, and my position on the board is vice president, and I've been on the board for 3 years now, and we basically supervise the staff, which is the executive director, Beth Renestis, and some of the other staff members, and make sure that the organization is kind of always headed in the right direction. And for the most part, Beth does an incredible job of keeping the ACA going in the right direction, focusing on junior grassroots development.
So we've got the Vecchio's Performance Center. Yeah. We've got your training and racing with Vitamin Cottage. You've got your work with the ACA, and then you also run Teton Consulting as a coaching service, correct?
Yep, it's a coaching service that's basically based out of the office here, but I've been doing that for almost 7 years now. So It's been very developed, and I've gotten to the point where I've got a very comfortable client load that still lets me focus enough time on the performance center that everyone stays happy.
So you're still finding time to train, get out there and race?
It's tough. It's a new year this year with everything here at the performance center. I mean, it's usually 7:30 in the morning. I'm out on my bike, back in here 10, 11 on a longer day. So it makes for some longer weeks total.
Yeah, well, I guess we've come a long way. You know, we used to work together over at VeloNews. Back in the day, you were helping out the VeloGear catalog, and I was working as an intern for VeloNews magazine. So I guess we can have a beer and have a toast later to sort of progress.
Agreed. Yeah, it's true. That was a while ago. It was enjoyable. Met my wife there too.
That's right.
And yeah, good memories of VeloNews.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a little break, and maybe you can show us around the Performance Center and kind of give us a little tour.